What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Scarlet. Great here on Chat Sports. Thank you so much for joining us. Real quick, like this video if you hate Michigan and love the good old US of A. That's right. The producer and owner of Chat Sports and producer of the show, James Yoder, is not going to like this. He's going to tell me, oh, I'll do a preview on Akron. It's not going to be a good show if you talk bad about Michigan because you know he loves Michigan. So like this video, send this algorithm juiced up to the moon. Let's get, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 billion views on this video because we're going to talk about the notice of allegations given to Michigan and how Michigan is cooked, done, donezo, stick a fork in them. It's over, curtains. There is no more University of Michigan. They are fried. They cease to exist here shortly. We're going to go over that, break it all down. So again, like this video if you hate Michigan and you love America. Heck, if you support the troops, you know you're going to hate Michigan. All right. Let's get straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Johnny Bullet. Find me on Twitter at Scarlet Gray JL on X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it nowadays. I'm just thinking I'm going to call it Twitter to just going to call it Twitter for the rest of my life. Anyways, notice of allegations. Goes to University of Michigan. We knew it was coming, but this kind of sheds some light on exactly what is what. Just like the Big Ten told Michigan way back last season. Remember in their letter, they said the following: the NCAA knows and can prove. That is why the Big Ten was able to throw a little bit of suspension down, because they're like, guys, this is not a case of show me your defense and show me this, show me. No, they know. They know and they can prove. And now the NCAA is saying, hey, we know, and now we're about to show you that we can prove these things. So getting into a little bit of the University of Michigan allegations that they have received their notice of. Real quick, Jesse Minter, Steve Clinkscale, sorry. They are not high on the totem pole as far as the crosshairs of the NCAA, although none of this looks good because you remember you had the COVID restrictions and lying about those things that Michigan got hammered for already. And now they continue to stick the thumb in the eye of the NCAA and say yeah, well, we may have broken rules, but guess what? We hate you. And thinking that the NCAA, it's terrible PR. Michigan's a good school, man. They probably back before they got all super woke and got, Gretchen Whitmer and all these guys, and the university president made them apologize for saying the silliest things that no one should ever have to apologize for. But before all that, they were a good school. Who's this PR firm? Who's these attorneys? And who what'll make the punishment lighter with the NCAA is if you don't cooperate and you publicly feud with them. Who is telling these people this? I think it must be the same person that tells Jim Harbaugh to play the game the way he plays it. Terrible advice. But Jesse Minter and Steve Clinkscale, this at the level 2 violations, I believe they are basically getting the NCAA is basically saying, we're going to work with you guys. I think of it as, a plea deal. Basically, I'm going to see if I can find, the term here. But it's basically, negotiated resolution. So kind of like a plea deal. We'll negotiate a resolution with you for former coaches, Jesse Minter, Steve Clinkscale. I believe they're both with the Chargers now. So not high up on these are recruiting violations. So again, just insult to injury. Just shows the program is just dirtier and dirtier as we get going. Oh, yeah, we know you guys tried to have someone assassinated, but we also know you were selling heroin out of those used DVDs you were selling at a 7-Eleven parking lot. Yeah, it was heroin. Jesse Minter and Steve Clinkscale was pushing. So these guys, at least the NCAA, saying some things aren't the end of the world. Some things we can have a negotiated resolution on. But insult to injury, this is just more icing on the cake, if anything. Sherrone Moore, level 2 violator, will be a repeat offender for deleting text messages. Not sure why he did it. I'm not sure if there's some strategy there, if you can delete them, because then they were recovered and didn't look that bad, I guess. But why even delete them? Unless they know some super sweet technology, Connor Stallion style, where you delete them and some stuff gets deleted forever, then you bring them back, and then I don't know. But Sherrone Moore is like he's learning from his father, Jim Harbaugh, to just step straight into, hey, well, here's the keys to the show, big guy. Level 2 violator. Make sure you do that. Harbaugh just set the guy up for failure. Let's be honest. Harbaugh set the whole program up for failure. That's why he's my favorite person. Who could have damaged Michigan as much as Jim Harbaugh? I way more than I ever could. What an awesome guy. I mean, death penalty the program, take all the coaches, like really screw the program over, and leave town at the first committable offer you get. It's fishy, right? Who's coaching the national champions and goes, I guess I'll leave. Yeah, and that guy wanted out of town, and he screwed everybody in the process. I love it. I love Jim Harbaugh. He's going on the wall back there next to Urban. So, real quick, guys, Scarlet Great, this channel, Chat Sports, is really growing. I want you guys to continue to help us grow. We're over 6,000 subs. Buddy Matt Goldman over there, the Chat Sports Studios, is really helping juice this channel up and get the numbers up. We're over 6,000 subs already. Help us get to 7,000 subs by the end of the season to make James Yoder pay. That's right, Michigan alum, sleazy scumbag, James Yoder, producer of a lot of these shows, big content guru, owner, founder, CEO of Chat Sports. Make him funnel some of those dirty Michigan dollars back to my buddy Matt Goldman, who's running the other show on the channel. Make sure you check it out. And back to the good old Buckeye faithful here at Scarlet and Gray. Hey, more money for us, more giveaways for you guys. And who cares where the money goes, honestly, as long as it's out of James Yoder's pocket. 7,000 subs by the end of the season. I would very much appreciate each and every one of you for that. All right, we're going to get into level 1 violators. Jim Harbaugh, surprise, surprise. Connor Stallion, surprise, surprise. Denard Robinson's, Chris Partridge, and the University of Michigan itself. And this is, guys, this is something that I don't think people are understanding. Michigan fans have really, I guess they've changed the goalpost a lot on this, right? They continue to change their story about who's who's what's what matters, what didn't. Harbaugh, I don't care if he gets punished or not. He's recognized he's not coming back. He's got a show cause ban already. He's the dirtiest coach probably in college football history, as per the NCAA. That's not me saying that. Look at the record. He's got a 4-year show cause ban. Urban never had that. Kirby never had that. Saban never had that. Bobby Petrino, I don't think ever had that. Hugh Freeze probably looks at Jim Harbaugh and just says, listen, man, you got some corrupt morals, buddy. You better figure it out. Because you know what? You know what? Maybe, Jim, you should go to church is what you should do, because you are just corrupt. That's how far gone this guy is, and I love it. But I don't get me wrong. I love Jim Harbaugh. Like I said, he crushed Michigan more than I ever could. Connor Stallions, of course, Rain Man, whatever. Weird guy. Denard Robinson, obviously terrible person. Chris Partridge, probably bad guy. Don't know. But they're all level 1 violators, as is the University of Michigan. And that's what matters the most. When people say, well, what's Harbaugh going to get? Did Harbaugh know that? Did Harbaugh not know? This is not about Jim Harbaugh. I know he's a scumbag. You Michigan fans know too, but you don't care to admit reality ever. So I don't expect you to. I like the guy because of what he did to Michigan. I don't know why you would like him, but you do. I don't care. He's gone. Why would I care about his punishment? He's not coming back. He's gone. I don't care about Chris Partridge's, the guy that's thrown to the wall. Michigan, we did nothing wrong. Let me fire a bunch of coaches, though. I don't care about Denard Robinson and Connor Stallions getting punished by the NCAA. I'm after the university. That's where our bloodlust will go. It's to the university there who did it. I don't care about the individuals. Did you know? Did you not know? That's it. Listen, for those of you Michigan fans that keep piping in and saying, well, Harbaugh didn't know, because you've changed your story a lot. You've changed your story a lot. I'm just going to tell you, this is kind of what you did. When the Connor Stallion stuff came out, he didn't do it. Well, he did it, but sign stealing is legal. Well, he did it, but it doesn't help anything. Yeah, well, I send people to a bunch of games if it doesn't help. It doesn't mean anything. Well, it doesn't erase our memories. And now one of the things you're saying is Jim Harbaugh didn't know. I'm here to tell you, one, that has nothing to do with it, and two, that's not who we're after. Jim Harbaugh is not going to vacate wins. The University of Michigan is. I'm not after taking Jim Harbaugh's wins away. I'm taking University of Michigan's wins away. The tarnished program. We know Jim's the culprit. We know Buckeye fans. We hold him in a high place in our hearts, warm regards, because we know he's the guy that undid them worse than Urban could ever do. I mean, Urban 7-0 against him. Jim basically made Michigan go 0 for 100. I mean, it's fantastic. Beat him worse than Woody Hayes ever could. He's fantastic as a Buckeye fan, but I don't understand, again, why you guys like it. So it's much. I'm not after him. I'm after the University of Michigan. They're who vacates wins. They're who got the banner. They're who did everything that happened. They are the people that put these coaches in place that had the lack of institutional control, or at least had institutional control and knew about it. Guys, it has zero relevance. You're telling me if Ohio State was doing the exact same thing, Brian Hartline's going in and paying players on the other team to take a dive. Ryan Day had no idea this was happening. What kind of excuse would be Ryan Day didn't know? There's no excuse. The program would be dirty. Program's dirty. You guys forget that. You're like, we might be dirty, but Jimmy wasn't. Jimmy was clean. Because John Bacon wrote a book about how he's clean. Really, that's odd. You got a show cause ban coming up on trial again here. So, it doesn't matter. NCAA wants Michigan. We all want blood from Michigan. They're the ones who did it. Coach didn't know is not an excuse. It's really, it comes down to this as well. If you could get away with stuff like that and simply say head coach didn't know, just fire the assistant. You know how many people would just take the payoff and do dirty stuff as an assistant and get fired? Coaches would literally tell people, look, make people do this, but I don't need to know about it. Make people do this, but I don't. The Rick Pitino defense doesn't work. It's your job to know. And even if you didn't know, the university had these employees, and these are representatives of the university, and they screwed up, and now they're going to pay the piper. Also, do you really think Jim Harbaugh didn't know? It doesn't matter if he did or not. I'm not after him. I just want you guys to think through how stupid of a defense this is. You know what you were saying when you say Jim Harbaugh had no idea? When he stood in front of the NFL podium and said, I didn't do anything wrong. I had no idea. You were basically, I got ahead of myself there. You're basically saying Jim Harbaugh is stupid. Jim Harbaugh's the dumbest human being to ever walk the planet. Every coach in the Big Ten knew he didn't know. Coaches around the country knew he didn't know. Connor knew. Uncle T knew. People Connor was sending knew. You think the players who are like looking over at Connor, getting the signal, and then deciphering it, and then the whole sideline's over there signaling the play in, and Jim's like, how could I have known what 19 people over there are doing? I couldn't have known that. Listen, Jim Harbaugh is a weird guy. He's got a terrible attorney, I think, and a bad public relations, does some fairly stupid things. I refuse to believe he's the dumbest human being on the planet. And that's what you're telling me when you say he didn't know. Again, I don't care if he did or not. That's not who I'm after. University of Michigan's who I'm after. But for you to say Jim Harbaugh didn't know is to say he's the stupidest man alive. That he wears adult diapers because he doesn't have the wherewithal to make it to a bathroom. I mean, not that he has some physical problems. He's just too dumb to go to the bathroom when he needs to. That's what you're saying when you say he didn't know. How could he not know? So you got two chances here. I want to know your guys' thoughts. Comment stupid if Harbaugh really didn't know. I don't think he's that dumb. I give him a lot more credit than you do, Michigan fans. Shame on you for not believing him, man. But I want you to comment liar if he is simply lying. Stupid if he didn't know. Liar if he's simply lying. Those are your only two options. All right, guys, I really appreciate you hanging in there with us and getting through this. Michigan is cooked and done. Harbaugh knew or he didn't. He's either dumb or lying. Doesn't matter. The university had a lack of institutional control. One of the dirtiest universities in the history of the world. These guys might be dirtier than Enron. Keep it locked in right here. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. God bless. And go Bucks.